Pika Pika!
Hello, everybody.
Pika Pika!
Welcome to
Pika Pika Pika!
Nintendo Pow Block.
Pika Pika Pika!
I'm your host.
Pika Pika!
the Enlightened.
Pika Pika!
And excited.
Pika Pika!
Eddie V.
Eddie V.
Hello, everybody. Oh, goodness, this Pikachu head. How'd you guys? Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block. That was so fun. Thank you, guys. There's something about speaking in Pikachu that just gets me revved up sometimes. But how you guys doing?
Doing well, Ed. Doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing
You
good.
very well.
That was a lot of fun.
Yes, we're gonna get into some quick housekeeping. This is episode 244 of Nintendo Pow Block Podcast. Each and every week we come together to talk about games and everything we love about them with our friends. You could join us live on Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/BossRushGamesLive Live and be a part of the conversation. But if you can't join us live, no big deal. You can head over to youtube.com/BossRushGames and BossRushGames.com to watch this show or listen on your podcast service of choice. Remember to subscribe, follow, rate, and review whenever you consume us. It helps us out with discoverability. And check out our family of shows whenever you listen to your podcast. Come join the Boss Rush Network Discord. We have a ton of communities there, but that talk about games, entertainment, snacks, and more. How was everybody's weekend?
Greysun.
It was pretty good. Like I mentioned to you off air earlier, Ed, I had a bit of a cold the past few days, so I'm kind of just like getting out of that. So I feel a lot better now. I've also started going back to the gym recently, like the actual gym. So that's been great on my body. I mean, I'm sore, but it just feels good to not sit in a chair all day and exercise. So, yeah.
I need to start joining the gym and work on this. Turn the snack Tendo stuff into muscle. You looking big.
Jim Tindo.
Ooh, yes, I like that.
Oh.
Becca, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I had my nephew's eighth birthday party.
That
and
was so cute.
Oh gosh, he's adorable. And he got another toy today because I got him some Fortnite stuff, and one of the mystery things that I got him, I thought it was going to be another figurine and it was just weapons, and he was like, well, who's going to hold these weapons? And I was like, I got you. So I Amazoned delivered him another toy today to go with that. So.
Yes. Oh wow. What about you, Jacob? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was very busy. I played Pokemon Snap. I thank you to you, Ed. I worked a lot on my floor. I have a big hole in my floor now from my back room from water damage, so I'm repairing that. And I went to a baby shower for my best friend and his wife. That was a lot of fun. We did like Disney character 20 questions, but not like a hard cap on 20 questions kind of thing.
Mhm.
It was a lot of fun.
Okay,
But what about you,
awesome.
Ed?
I picked up Pokemon Snap, been playing some other games, and just like this weekend, so for people who don't know, we're rearranging the Boss Rush podcast. It's going to be now on Sunday nights and not Saturdays. So this Saturday I took time off just like to relax and everything, and literally take a break and stuff. Like and then I got the podcast with the EXP cast with Story and Pat, and we talked some really good stuff about Returnal and State of Play. So I gotta have fun with them on the podcast. I gotta try to get on Wes's podcast and talk to those guys and beyond WASD. Holler at those guys. But really had a fun time this weekend. Just really enjoyed myself. So everybody, yeah, we all been doing a lot of things, getting ready for E3, which is bunkers, cause Konami is not gonna be there, and I'm so sad. I'm just so sad. But we're gonna get into our favorite part of the show that a lot of people love, Snacktendo. Greysun as our special guest. What have you been snacking on?
Oh man, I just don't have much to talk about in this regard. I just don't eat a lot of like like snack food. I don't know. To me, snacking, I'm eating like grapes and like
So
apples with peanut butter, or like um.
what about those
I mean,
eggs? Your way of cooking
oh
eggs,
yeah.
Grayson?
I mean, this morning, yeah, I cook. I guess that's kind of a new thing. I've been cooking like just fried eggs, but instead of cooking them in like oil, I cook them in pesto sauce, which is something I
Ooh.
actually saw on TikTok. I love pesto sauce, so I saw that. I'm like, oh, this is probably gonna taste really good. So I've been doing that a lot in the morning, just like very simple breakfast. You're gonna have it with some toast, some fruit, whatever. Also been eating a lot of sweet potato fries in the air fryer. Not very exciting stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much me. I don't have much else to say.
All right. Uh, Jacob, where have you been snacking on?
Well, so my most recent snack was a Magnum bar. It's an ice cream bar. It had this one particular one had caramel in between, like it's like the ice cream, and then there was a caramel layer, and then a chocolate shell layer. And I had one of those today after helping my parents around their house. Just like as a little snack for myself. Other than that, I've been mostly pretty good. I can't actually. I guess I've had a lot of sandwiches lately.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
that's been fun. Just kind of mixing up different things. I want to make my boss at work talked about making fried bologna, and then Becca talked about fried bologna a few weeks ago, and like now I just want to make some of that. But I'm slowly starting to like transition myself onto a vegetarian or vegan diet as well, with a few exceptions. Like if we go out for sushi, I'll still eat sushi. So, but yeah,
Right.
mostly the Magnum bar, which was delicious. Those things are like decadent.
All right. Becca, what have you been snacking on?
So I haven't done too much snacking either. That's new and exciting to report on, other than like my usual like cheese and crackers and that kind of thing.
Mm.
But I did discover a new breakfast place called I think it's called
Ooh.
like the Biscuit on Main or something.
I
Town.
love that name.
It's oh my gosh, it is so good. They make they make vegetarian biscuits and gravy. So they make, instead of sausage
Mm.
gravy, they make shiitake mushroom gravy. And
Ooh.
it is like killer. It is so good. It's got like a little kick to it. Like they make it a little spicy and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like so good.
Ooh, I need to come to that. I need to come there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grayson, your eyes open up. We're just like, wait,
So
what?
good.
I love biscuits and gravy. It is so hard to find a good vegetarian option for that these days. Because there's a Denver place. I mean, there's a biscuit place like that here in Denver. I forget what it's called, but I've had the mushroom kind of gravy, and it wasn't that good, and I was very
Oh,
disappointed.
oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
No,
it
this
was kind of
is
like soggy and yeah.
yeah, if you guys ever come to Nashville, let me know and I'll hook you up with some
Fun
amazing vegetarian biscuits and gravy.
fun fact about breakfast in Nashville, though. Becca and I were having breakfast at what was that place called? First Watch.
Oh, First
And
Watch.
we
Yeah.
saw, I don't know if anybody cares, but we saw, I think it's Butch Cassidy, the guy who created Fairly Odd Parents, or
Hmm.
Butch Hartman. Butch Hartman.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say
okay.
Butch Cassidy.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't remember. I'm bad with names. But yeah, he like just randomly walked in and sat down very close to us and was having breakfast.
He
And
had
it was
a
oh yeah,
he
he
had
had a Danny
he had a
Phantom
mask.
mask on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
Wow.
and I turned and looked at him, and then I was like, I think that's Butch Hartman. And sure enough, yeah,
When I was like, that's a really good like hand
yeah,
drawn mask. Like that's so random. And then you took it off like
yeah. So yeah, breakfast in Nashville is always popping, no matter what you do.
Did you
Yep.
guys get? Did you guys get
see.
to say hi to him?
No, I was,
We
I
were
was,
too
yeah.
embarrassed.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we definitely like looked at him a
Tweeted
lot to like and
and
tweeted
tweeted.
about it, and he ended up liking my tweet later on. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, for my snack Tendo, I of course I got sushi today, but I actually got a burrito bowl from Chipotle. Chipotle. Um, and this is my first time getting that bowl there,
Hmm.
and so I got all the good fixes and everything, and I didn't want salsa. I thought when I seen this red sauce that I thought it was like salsa but without the tomatoes on it, and it was some hot red spicy stuff
Yeah.
that I was just like, oh no, I'm Charizard now because it was hot. I'm like,
That sauce is really
oh,
hot.
Oh
yeah,
man.
but I was just like, I paid $18 for this thing. I'm going to eat this whole bowl. Um, and they guac, not guac, they chips and they salsa stuff was weird. Weird in the fact that it was good, but there was like a lot of tomato pieces. I'm like, where's the juice at? Like, where? How do I dip this? So I had to dip it with a spoon and then put it on the chips and then eat it. But I enjoyed it. That burrito bowl was really good, and I did try. So LaRon is probably going to hear this. So me and Austin have been talking about one of his odd kind of snack things that people find. So today I went to Dunkin' Donuts and I bought a blueberry, and he washes it down with Mountain Dew.
Oh,
That's
I
so
don't know about
gross,
that.
man.
Like if you go to Taco Bell and you get the fountain drink Mountain Dew, he washes it down with that. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna judge it. I'm gonna actually give it a try.
Mhm.
So I take a bite of the donut, and I while the breading is in my mouth, I start drinking the Mountain Dew, and I could say that it's not bad. And the reason why I say that, I think it's the Mountain Dew. The glaze kind of protects the tanginess of the Mountain Dew. So it's kind of like, okay, I see where he get it from, how he washes it down. Now, if you drink the Mountain Dew after the breading, you get a weird taste because your tongue is still got the glaze and it's trying to adapt to the Mountain Dew flavor. So it's not bad. I understand why he like it. It's like I said, it's odd. But I didn't have a problem with it. I'm just like, oh, this is a nice experience. I do have another Mountain Dew with the sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. Because he drinks that too. So I was just like,
God.
maybe this will work too. So I will see. Last but not least,
Oh,
Oh,
Ed, I think we lost you.
oh no,
Oh no, you're
nope.
back. Okay, you're
Okay.
good.
oh sorry about that. I brought uh Haagen Dazs vanilla thing, and I bought the orange vanilla Coke and made an orange vanilla Coke float. Um,
Ooh, that
Being
and
sounds.
a mix master, Ed.
yes, we've been talking about root beer floats like this past week, and I'm just like, man, it's about to hit the summer, and I haven't had one. So I think I kind of made it wrong because I dumped the whole vanilla thing in the cup and then poured a little bit of the Coke thing, and plus the Coke was also cold. Wondered, are you supposed to have the Coke warm and the ice cream cold,
No,
or
no, you can have them both cold.
okay?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. It was a nice taste, a nice kind of float to it. And it was really good. I was just like, I haven't had this in a while, so I wanted to make one. So, but it was quite delicious. I was because they orange vanilla tastes like a little bit like sherbet, so I thought I was going to get that taste. I think next time I'm going to do a cherry Coke float, or maybe try the cherry vanilla float.
I was
See what?
I was gonna
Okay.
ask you, Ed, do you have Cookout near you? The chain?
No, I do not.
If you go somewhere where they have one, get a cheerwine float because that's gonna have the cherry soda with the vanilla ice cream in it. It's so good.
Mm.
It's
Ooh.
really good.
I think I've heard of the place, but yeah, I'll look it up. I'll definitely look it up, and
Yeah, I think you would like it.
of course, of course, I'm gonna make the drive. Oh yeah, I probably will. A lot of things that people have been recommending, I have enjoyed completely. So next week I'll talk about the Pepperidge Farm stuff that I bought. I got Jack from Geek Road 27. He I tell him I buy a lot of stuff from our Pepperidge Farm outlet store, so I spent like $15
Oh
buying
man.
Pepperidge Farm stuff. So I got some of the fish. They got a s'mores fish thing, and they got a fudge brownie. So I'm going to try that next time with it, and I'll talk about that next week. But everybody, that has been our snack tendo. I want to give a shout out to Still Shay. He kind of showed us like he made some Mexican with some rice. AK Munger got some vegan ice cream called I'm trying to get it. Louis, I think that's it. I think that one looks really good. Uh, Stephanie K showed us some chicken kai proa, and I pulled up a seat and wanted to get some, and she said that was very spicy as Thai food, and once again I turned it to Charizard. Uh, and she actually made me a plate, and then I ate it and fell asleep because I became a Snorlax. Last but not least, Logan, he has tried original Thai and butterscotch. Kind of like some meal that he tried, and then he's making some barbecue. He's making some pasta with Doritos chips in it. Um, so it's kind of interesting. So those have been our snack Tendo. If you guys want to check more of our snack Tendo in the discussion, we have a Discord for Boss Rich Games. Come and check us out and tune in into what we've been snacking on. But we're gonna move on to our game fact events. And guys, I got one for you, and this is kind of going to be a little bit of a throwback. If you haven't heard, there was a line called the Touch Generations. And Nintendo branded it for to use for the Nintendo DS and the Wii, and it was just showing games created to appeal to a broader audience, mainly adults and the elderly, than the original traditional gamer. Nintendo retired the brand with the launch of the Nintendo 3DS in 2011, 6 years after its introduction. Regardless of this, some titles that were introduced under the brand continue to receive follow-up entries to the contemporary and future Nintendo consoles. Now, one of my favorite games is Elite Beat Agents, and
Yep.
that was part of the Touch Generations. But they also had Wii Sports Resort, Wii Sports, Wii Play, Wii Party, Wii Music, Wii Fit Plus, Wii Fit, Wii Chess, and then some Japanese one, Endless Oceans, the Brain Age game, the Ten Dogs and the Ten Cats. They were part of the Touch Generation, and just along with that, Nintendo's, which was one of the popular titles, that sold 23.96 million
Woo.
units as of May
Jeez.
2009,
Wow.
with Brain Age selling at 19.1 million units, and Brain Age 2 around 15 million units as of September 2015. And these are on one platform. So Nintendo made that coin from the Touch generation.
Yeah, clearly, man. Holy cow.
Wow.
I knew Nintendogs was really popular. I had no idea it was that many selling popular.
I
Yeah.
think it was a lot of people's first DS game that they got. Like when they got the DS, they got Nintendogs because that was definitely mine. That and Brain
Probably.
Age.
I know I
Yeah.
had it. I just don't remember if I got it afterwards or if I got it before. Because I know, like, the Metroid Prime Hunters demo was, like, my first game.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Yeah.
And it came with that little thumb.
Yes.
The thumb.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
that is the best
Thumbstick thing.
thing. Like, if you don't have that, I hate using the stylus, the little thumb pad. I transferred mine from the DS to my 3DS when I got the 3DS because I loved it so much.
There was another DS game that came out around that time. I feel like you might know it, Ed, but it was like it wasn't Nintendo.
Was it
I don't think
Feel the
Nintendo made it.
Magic?
Yeah, yes, Feel the
Yeah.
Magic XY touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played that game too, and I remember that being very weird, but
is
I
super
liked it at the
weird.
time. I have no idea what you were doing. I just remember it was a lot of tapping and touching and like trying to get maybe a relationship back together or something like that. I don't know, but it was very weird.
I think they
Yeah.
reference it in Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U. I think.
Probably.
Yeah, Hotel Dust led me to it because I remember buying Hotel Dust when it first came out, and I was just involved with that story and that gameplay. I'm just like, this is so good, and didn't realize it was part of the Touch Generation games.
I just love the
Um,
idea of holding the DS sideways like a novel, and you're able to just like it was way more comfortable than holding it the normal way. You know.
Did you
Yeah.
guys ever play Guitar Hero on the DS?
Yes, I did.
You had like a buttons that you had to plug into your GBA port, and like you
Nice.
plug those in, so you're like stylusing like this, and it hurt so bad, but I beat that game because I was like, I want to play.
Oh. I just got
It's
to.
rough, but it was all good. Elite Beat Agents was definitely better than Guitar Hero on the DS. So
Absolutely.
Yes. We was what we was talking about on EXP about Elite Beat Ages, and it was just like every time you hear that "You're My Inspiration,"
Yeah.
Hmm.
that song because of Elite Beat Ages has made it more popular because everybody they be like, I played this song, and then people would do like the dots and stuff and roll it in at different parts like they knew it.
Do
It's oh, go ahead,
do
Jacob.
you think did Elite Beat Agents kind of lead into that? I think it's called Osuo game on the computer. Have y'all seen that where it's literally it's like Elite Beat Agents where you like click on the screen and then like have like you have to
Uh-huh.
click and drag and stuff, but it's a computer
Yes.
game where people do that with their mouse.
Huh.
So, it's actually a spin-off of a game from Japan.
Okay.
1 second. So it's the spiritual sequel to Osu Tatake Omanda, a Japanese-only rhythm game released in 2005. And it was developed by INIS. And so it was different in Japan, and they finally tried to bring one over to America. It's so well it did a great job. People loved it, and then they never brought another one out again
Yeah,
Mhm.
because they ended up going back to Rhythm Heaven,
which I
back
love.
for America.
I
Yes,
love Rhythm
Mhm.
Heaven. I need one of
yes,
those on the Switch.
we
Yes.
might we might be getting one.
Hopefully, man.
We
It's now's the time.
And a WarioWare
Yes.
and
Oh,
Elite
we
Beat Agents.
absolutely
Just
get
give us all the
WarioWare.
quirky,
Right. This is the
quirky
perfect
stuff.
time until they release the new one, but the new Zelda and all the big games, they can release all the weird ones.
Yeah.
yeah yeah.
It'll be
So
good.
well, everybody, that has been my game fact events, and now it's time for Family News. Jacob, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So our first story comes from our very own Dan Murphy via BossRushGames.com and from Nintendo themselves. Super Mario Party got a free update after 2 years. Very strange. Nintendo announced in a tweet that Super Mario Party for the Nintendo Switch has received its first update since it was released on 10/5, 10/5, that's October. October 5th, 2018. You can now play the board games online, which I know a lot of people were excited about. And then this might be a little bit of a miscommunication because we're not actually sure if they added 70 new mini games or if they added 70 mini games as options to playing online from the original list. And then they also added a 2v2 party mode online. But unfortunately, there aren't any new board games as part of the or boards as part of the update. Um, so, what are y'all's reaction to this news? Is it weird seeing an update for a game like Super Mario Party 2 years after its release?
I would say no because I think this is awesome. Everybody been wanting this game online, and this could bring people back to actually picking up the game up, and more sales for people who want to jump in. I my theory was that I feel like they finished production on this game, and people who were working on it had to go to different teams to help them out get other games. So I don't think they were able to come back and push this online mode. And plus, with Nintendo changing their netcode for the online service, they probably was waiting for that to happen before they could go in. So
Mm.
I literally think it's cool that they have done this. Look, if Destiny could restart their whole game from the original time that it came out, Nintendo could do the same thing and just add a whole different function.
So, Grayson, what about you? Why do you think Nintendo has pushed this update out after such a long time?
Yeah, I honestly had no idea why they would why they would do that. But Ed, you brought up a good point about that whole netcode thing because I completely forgot that they recently like updated that. So I think that could be a potential possibility of as of why they did this. I was just confused from the announcement because this game has been like one of the only Nintendo Switch games that just like starved for content. I feel like it should have gotten like some DLC, at least like one new board or something. Because I know so many people, um, the critics, the problem that they had with that game was like it felt like there was lacking of board games and mini games and stuff, and there was no online at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like I thought nobody would be playing it, but I'm noticing like a lot of people on my Switch friends list have been playing Mario Party. So, there's that game sold a lot. There's a lot of people that are willing to play. There's a lot of people who have it now and would love to like return to it to play online. So I think it's a great thing. I just think it came a little too late. Obviously, it's been almost like 3 years, I think. So I don't know. It's so random, but it's also the Snow Nintendo. Where it was like, of course, they would release an update for the real game that adds just online play, nothing else.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's only it's more good than bad. I think you know it's only a good thing, and I hope that they can hopefully implement this in other Nintendo games, other future games that would work well with online multiplayer.
Yeah, absolutely. And so on that, Becca, do you have any other viewpoints as far as like why you think they might have done this so late? And are there any other games that you can think of that you would be graced by having online or just updates added to them?
Yeah, I want a second Breath of the Wild DLC. If anyone's listening at Nintendo right now. No, I honestly, I don't have a lot to weigh in on because I haven't played a Mario Party game. I haven't owned a Mario Party game since the GameCube, and I haven't played one since the Wii. So I'm like out of the loop, but I would be interested to see, because like Grayson just said, there's clearly people playing it now that they've made the updates. I would be interested to see how many of those people already have the game versus how many of those people bought it fresh. Like, oh, cool, I can play with people now that I couldn't play with before. So, like that might be something that I'm interested in now because I could play it online with you and with our friends. So, I mean, it's definitely a cool update.
Absolutely. It absolutely could boost some sales of the game. And so Nintendo's doing that with some digital things. They're adding digital digital incentives to buy your game, but an Australian retailer is offering an actual golf ball as a Mario Golf pre-order bonus. This is Mario Golf Super Rush. If you're planning on returning to the fairway this June when Mario Golf Super Rush arrives on the Nintendo Switch and happen to be located in Australia, then you might be interested in this cool pre-order bonus currently offered at JB Hi-Fi. That comes from Liam Doolin at nintendolife.com. As highlighted by the Australian Nintendo website and Vooks.net, the largest home entertainment retailer in the country is handing out an actual golf ball. It's branded and everything, has Mario Golf Super Rush on it. EB Games will also be offering a pre-order bonus item in the form of a keychain. There's currently no information, however, about any pre-order bonuses for North America. And so, Grayson, I want to start with you. It seems like North American gamers typically miss out on pre-order bonuses. For fans of mainline Nintendo games and all things physical, we had a conversation on physical games versus digital last podcast.
Yes.
There seems to be a bit of a sore spot for Nintendo America, and it seems like we don't get a whole lot. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I have no clue. I don't know why this always happens. I remember this happening with like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, where I think the UK version of the collector's edition has so much better stuff, and the Americans were left with like the lame, watered down package. I don't know whether it's because they feel like they can't handle the sales that the bringing it to the West would garner, like just because it'll be more successful. Like maybe they're just doing this in Australia because they know it's not going to sell like crazy amount of copies there, so they're able to produce a limited amount of golf balls. But like I don't know why they can't just release it here and have the same limited quantity. I mean, I don't know. I'm actually not a collector. I'm usually I go mostly all digital for my games.
Same here.
I've never purchased like a huge collector's edition of any video game in my life. I don't think so. So I don't know. It's just like you just look at her camera and it's just like boxes and boxes stuff. Yeah, I don't know why that stuff happens. Like why we get like the crappy collector's edition. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, so that's interesting that it has there. You say that you haven't bought anything in particular, but has there been any sort of collection thing that you've gotten into that was game related or something, some like maybe figure or statue that you were just like, I have to have this?
No? I don't know why. I'm just not the only thing I've ever purchased at all is Amiibo, and even then I only have 4 or 5 of them. Right. So I'm just not. I just don't like having things in my house. I sell all my old games. I'm I'm terrible. I know. I'm the
No,
problem.
no, I'm the same way with everything that isn't Nintendo related stuff. Becca, I do know that you are a big collector, as am I with physical things. What about you? Is this something, I know we talked about it a little bit? Is this something that you would be interested in if they were to bring it to America?
Yes, I would. Thank you for asking. I want to move to Australia just to have a golf ball now because I am a big collector and I'm just a sucker for if I'm going don't get me wrong, if it's a game that I don't that I'm not excited about, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy a collector's edition of it because I'm not that far gone. But like Story of Seasons, I love those games and I've bought every single little Moo plushie collector's map thing that they've had. And I got the Catherine,
Yes.
I don't remember what the new edition of Catherine is called, but I got that and that had like the keychain and
Or the
uh
full body.
Full body.
full body, thank you. And then like just that kind of thing, and like it really hurts my soul. The Link's Awakening release in the UK for the Switch had like the most amazing collection set, and we got like I think ours was like here's your notepad,
It
and
was
it's
a
like
notepad and a pin, two
I was like
pins.
oh thanks.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. So like I really do like that stuff, but yeah, I do feel like we for some reason get gypped, and it's sad because it's like okay, you don't even have to give it to me for free. Like I will purchase the golf ball if you allow me to buy the golf ball. So yeah, I was real sad when I saw that article.
And then same question for you: has there ever been a collection item or something, some sort of pre-order bonus that you were like, I have to have this?
Yes, the Moo Moo cows from Story. No, the one that I can remember truly that I was like, yes, is actually this release and the first release of Skyward Sword.
Mhm.
Because I had to, that was like my first adult I have a job real purchase was getting Skyward Sword with this symphony CD and the mat or the poster I mean, and then I got the gold Wii Motion remote, and that's still one of the coolest things. And so when they did the Joy Cons this time, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, like my nostalgic heart is beating for this. Like I need it. So yeah,
I
that's
almost
my
bought
big.
those. Those are
Oh,
really
they're so
pretty.
cool. Oh, they're so pretty. I'm so excited. Jacob actually got them for me for my birthday. So
They're so nice.
I don't have them yet, but like it's coming.
It's so worth it.
It's
And
almost here.
what about you, Ed? Are there any games that you want to see? Do you want to see more and frequent pre-order bonuses coming to North America? Are you excited about the golf ball idea for Mario Golf?
Okay, so yes, I would love to see more come out. Nintendo, this is the thing about it. They do these collections for outside countries because it's incentive for them to sell more. Nintendo's not popular in the UK because of
Mhm.
Sony PlayStation. Nintendo may not be popular in Australia, but if they got these goods for people to be like, "Ooh, I like that," people will go and get them, and it's good for people who want to do importing because the Metroid other M, not other M, Metroid Samus Return 3DS that they did in Europe was amazing, and people didn't even really like buy that game in the UK, and people for America were just like, I will pay you 250 plus some dollars if you buy this game and send it to me. um so like for me, I've become somewhat of a collector. Grayson, I know you mentioned Xenoblade Chronicles. I pre-ordered Xenoblade Chronicles to get the collector stuff like the art book and some of the things. I got the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and the definitive edition collection. I have Ori the Blind Forest for Xbox, and then spent 150 some dollars for the Switch version for 1 and 2, and it's just like if Nintendo would get it, I spent 100 some dollars for the Monster Hunter collection, for Switch, and I love like if Nintendo would put more out of this, I would, I I want more of it because people are willing to go out and purchase this. They will spend the money to go get it. Yeah, the pre-order stuff might be a hassle. You might have to choose who you go with to go get it. But if they were able to make a lot, people will go out and buy it. If they want to resell it, that's up to that person. But like if Skyward Sword came out with a whole different unexpected collection, oh for sure I would buy it. Everybody's waiting for to see will there be a Bayonetta 3 collection? Will there be a Metroid Prime 4 collection with all the Prime games and a special disc where you can play the DS games or the handheld ones for $100? People will go nuts. I might have to buy a LeBron one. 'Cause,
So
you know,
Ed, so then a kind of a little bit of a different question for you because we all know that you are a huge collector and will buy up as much as you can. What has been your favorite collector's edition that you've bought?
my favorite that I have kind of collected is the Ori and the Blind Force
Mm.
collection for the
Pretty.
Switch. The box is gorgeous. Yeah, the box is gorgeous. The both physical games, seeing the artwork, the music CD. I'm like,
And
wow.
that's got that
They
like stained glass thing too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I am 8-bit went out all on this, and I'm just like, yeah, this is worth the money.
Very
So.
cool. Very cool.
And before you move on,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think that's why people love limited run games when they do their collections.
Mm.
People will go and buy those collections first before they buy the standard ones.
For sure, for sure. Well, so we haven't heard anything as far as like collector's editions or pre-order bonuses for Mario Golf here. It's possible that we might hear something if a retailer leaks something, just like our next news story, where an ESRB rating may have revealed that Ni no Kuni 2 is coming to the Nintendo
Yes.
Switch. This comes to us from Adam Bankhurst via IGN. He says a new ESRB rating for Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom Prince's Edition may have been revealed that Bandai Namco's RPG will soon find its way to the Nintendo Switch. The ESRB's rating lists Nintendo Switch as a platform for Ni no Kuni 2 and gives it a T for teen rating for fantasy violence and mild blood. Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom was originally released in 2018 for PS4 and PC, and it quote distinguishes itself from its predecessors by layering fast-paced real-time combat and an engaging kingdom-building system atop more traditional RPG systems and quests. Now, I know our JRPG fanatic, Dan, is not here tonight, but for the panel, what are y'all's reactions to this story? Is this a Switch port that y'all are excited about? Have you played the original Ni no Kuni game? I believe it's the White Witch. And then what other games from PlayStation specifically or PC would you like to see ported to the Switch? Ed, let's start with you.
So I own this game. I own both games. I own the original one on PS3. I own two on PlayStation 4. Beautiful game. The Studio Ghibli look is just mwah. Um, but my question is because I think this is level 5.
Mhm.
And I thought level 5 weren't bringing any more games to North America.
I don't remember if they've announced anything like that. Give me a moment and I'll look that up.
Mm.
Or which is who makes the Professor Layton games? That is
That's
level 5.
That is level
Yeah.
5, yeah.
Yeah, you remember they ended up closing their U.S. market that they were going to be making games for it.
Yeah, this is true. This
Really?
is true. Level 5 has reportedly halted nearly all operations in North America.
So
I haven't
see,
heard that.
yeah, so seeing this game being ported to Switch, I'm like, wait a minute. I already got my $60 waiting to go. Like the moment it drops, that's waiting. I was kind of confused, just to be like, oh, game is going to sell bunkers on Switch.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people who seen it on PlayStation 4 were just like, oh, it was a beautiful game, but it got literally ignored.
Yeah.
And so it's going to have that Dragon Quest 11 effect where people are going to be like, oh, it's on Switch, I'll pick it up. And so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm glad that this Switch port is happening. I don't even know. It's a rumor. And I think, like I said, more people will pay attention to this game when it comes out. And I think it would kind of show Level 5 that, hey, we never given up on you or anything.
Hmm.
It was just unexpected that you halted production because there was just too many RPGs and great games coming out. And if this shows Level 5 that, hey, we still want your games to come to Nintendo, hopefully they'll reconsider and open back up and bring more games here.
Absolutely.
It's so
I
sad.
personally would love to see Level 5 come back to Nintendo. Fantasy Life on the 3DS was one of my favorite 3DS games of all time.
Yes.
Becca, I don't believe you've played any Ni no Kuni games before, but I've heard that it's typically similar to like Pokemon meets just like your typical JRPG like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. Is that something that you might be interested in? Maybe if they did like a discount on the original Ni no Kuni game with the release of Ni no Kuni 2?
Oh yeah, this is definitely something like I have not played them before, just because I pretty much exclusively play Nintendo. But it does look like something that I would enjoy if it came to the Switch. So I would definitely try it out.
Okay. Do you have any other PlayStation? I know you're also a big PlayStation fan for like the PS2 era. Do you have
Yeah.
any PlayStation games that you'd love to see come to the Switch?
Oh yeah. I was actually just thinking the other day that I really I know it's not exclusively PlayStation, but I would love to see like well, I would love to see a sequel to it as well, but I'd love to see Bully like
Mm.
upgraded and
Ooh.
ported over to the Switch. That was one of my favorite games. And I've played Grand Theft Auto. I've played quite a few of them like San Andreas and stuff, but I've never like my heart does not belong to that series. But like Bully, I was like, okay, I like this game a lot. And then uh if we could get the Arkham games on the Switch, my I would be so happy. I know that's not like an exclusive to PlayStation either, but just outside of Nintendo, I wish it would come to the
Oh yeah.
Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. And Grayson, what about you? Have you played any of the Ni no Kuni games? And if so, do you have any sort of any feelings for them and them possibly bringing this to the Nintendo Switch? And then also, how do you feel about these sort of things leaking via stuff like the ESRB rating system and retailer websites?
Well, speaking of Ni no Kuni, yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of
Ooh.
the first Ni no Kuni game. I played it a couple years ago. I never finished it, but I still hold that close to my chest as like one of my favorite JRPGs ever. It just has like that Studio Ghibli style cutscenes, and the story is so good, and the combat is really good.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the second one, I played about like an hour of it, and I wasn't a fan of like the way they changed the combat system, and I'm not a fan of like the social simi construction kind of thing, and I hate doing that in games.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that it's hopefully coming to the Switch now, because the first Ni no Kuni, that game is like always on sale on Switch. Like I remember that game being
Yeah.
like $10 or less. So I'm sure there are tons of people who own it on Switch and have not played the sequel yet. So like Ed was saying, like this could potentially sell a lot of copies and do really well for Level 5. And then your other question, these ratings also, to me, they kind of spoil any potential surprises
Mm-hmm.
that we could see during like E3 or these little smaller press conferences that we get from time to time, or these streams. But it's still exciting nonetheless to like hear a game is being like potentially probably going to be brought over to a different platform, because more people get the chance to play the game, so that's always good. But yeah, Ni no Kuni is awesome. The first game. Second game, I know it's still good. It got good reviews, but I think the first game just has so much more charm and personality to it, and it's just a more of a straightforward JRPG.
Abs-
Uh,
uh, Go ahead, Ed.
Oh, I would like to recommend that Rogue Galaxy actually come to Switch. It was a PS2 action RPG from Level 5. If you have not seen that game, go take a look. That's the one that I want to come to Switch. Oh, but go ahead,
Okay.
Jacob. I'm sorry.
No, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that Grayson absolutely supports Ni no Kuni 1, which you can still get currently on the Nintendo Switch. Apparently it goes on sale quite a bit. So be sure to check that game out. Maybe get you excited for Ni no Kuni 2. Who knows? Our
Yes.
last news story for today actually has to do with our docked mode as well. New Pokemon Snap beats Returnal in UK sales this week. This comes from Brian via Nintendo Everything.com. While we don't have specific sales data at this time, an early report has surfaced regarding New Pokemon Snap's debut in the UK. It turns out that the game was #1 in the region this past week, beating Returnal on PlayStation 5 for the top spot, which, as Ed and had talked about previously, Sony does very well in the UK, so this is quite surprising. And Returnal was also another new release. Game Industry's Christopher Dring reports that New Pokemon Snap's physical launch sales are more than 4 times higher than the original game for the Nintendo 64. This does not include digital units, however, which is often something that we see with these reports, since it's a little bit more difficult to track digital numbers openly and publicly. However, we should have the latest UK sales charts soon. Becca, I want to start with you. What are your reactions to this news, and why do you think people are so excited for New Pokemon Snap? And what other games could Nintendo cash in on from the Nintendo 64 era?
So it doesn't surprise me, but I'm gonna be fair to any Returnal fans or any people that were excited about that game and just say that I don't know much about it. But the name Pokemon carries so much weight that any Pokemon game is going to do well in sales, period. Even if the ratings don't end up being well, like the initial sales are always going to be good. That being said, like I'm not surprised, and I think it really is for most people, just for this specific game, a nostalgia appeal. I know, like, as I showed you guys, like I have my original guide still. Like I just played the original game again a couple years ago just to run through it one more time and hear all the phrases from Professor Oak, tut-tutting photos, and yeah. And so, like, for me, it was just like, yes, I want to get back into this now. Like, that being said, that doesn't like say, again, that doesn't talk about like how it's going to be rated later on, like the game itself, but like initial sales. Oh yeah, that's not shocking to me at all.
All right, excellent. And Greysun, what about you? What are your reactions to this news? And do you have any N64 or GameCube games, just older era games that Nintendo and Pokemon Company could pull from real quickly just to get some extra sales in?
Yeah, so I think there are like a couple of factors that play into this, and one of them, like she was mentioning, like Pokemon itself is such a huge, it's a household name, so any game with that name is probably gonna sell well. But then you have like Pokemon Snap, which is the game we haven't seen a sequel for in 20 years. So yeah, you have that nostalgia factor playing in. And then Returnal, even though Sony has been marketing it as this big PlayStation exclusive, it is only available on PS5, which is a console that is very, very, very hard for people to get at the moment. It's not available on PS4. It's not available on PC. So I think that also has something to do with the sales. And the Switch has been selling so well, and tons of people in the UK have a Switch. So it's like, when they have a choice between which game to buy, it's like, well, they're going to go with the console that's available to them and the cheaper game, because Returnal is also $70, which is also, I think it's something that deters people from purchasing it on like day one. I feel like that's like a wait and see kind of game, which is how I've been doing, because I bought Pokemon Snap instead of Returnal, and I was teetering on which game I should purchase, but pretty much just because Pokemon's cheaper, I was like, well, I'm gonna do this, and I know what I'm going in for. I know what this game is because I played the original. But it's still surprising to see a PlayStation title like not do as well, because like Ed said, PlayStation is huge in the UK. And for other games, I would love to see a new Pokemon Stadium. That's a series that I've been wanting to come back for so long. Being able to like connect with friends online and play cute little Pokemon mini games, and then having to like be able to battle each other with like really modernized visuals, because you kind of have that with Sword and Shield, and you can play online, but the game doesn't look that great. It doesn't look like new Pokemon Snap, for example. So having like a Pokemon Stadium 3 with online features, and maybe developed by Bandai Namco, because they always make the prettiest Pokemon spin-off games like this and Pokken Tournament.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would love a Pokemon Stadium or like a Pokemon Battle Revolution, or even Pokemon Coliseum. Like I love the side stuff that Pokemon does. So I would be there for any of that type of stuff.
Nice, excellent. And
Yeah.
before we get over to Ed, Becca, did you want to mention any N64 dreams that you had to be coming to
Yeah,
the Switch?
yeah. I got really excited. I know N64 is not Coliseum, but that would be amazing. Grayson. Yeah, if they could bring back Jet Force Gemini, like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
like I would never stop playing it. Like it's so like the multiplayer alone would be just so fun to play, but like just I would cry. I would die happy. Like that would
So
be amazing.
if
Everyone needs
Nintendo,
a chance to
if
be the tank dog.
if Nintendo keeps talking to Microsoft, there's a possibility we could get one.
I know that would be so cool. Any rare games, I'm just like, give me. Yes.
There is indeed. And Ed, do you have any final thoughts on Pokemon Snap beating Returnal in the UK, and also an N64 dream game for you to Pokemon or non-Pokemon to bring to the Switch?
So it is surprising. The thing about it is Returnal is a new IP
Mm-hmm.
for the Sony for PlayStation 5. This is their first kind of exclusive game for that system for first party that they have released. So people kind of went in knowing that, seeing the state of play and seeing how beautiful and everything it is. People were still kind of weary because it was a roguelike design game. Where new Pokemon Snap is, people have a lot of memories with the
Mm.
series back in the day. So to see that they got people get excited to take more pictures about Pokemon again, and seeing people stream it and now posting their Pokemon and stuff, and getting a little bit frustrated because that Pokemon they get the picture just right, and then it turns, and it's like, wait, what the world? And it's just like it's bringing a lot of people joy. And a lot of people feel like it's a comfort game to them,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Returnal is for the hardcore people who want something, who like that stress feel kind of, if I get hit one more time I'ma die kind of feeling. A lot of people just be like, I want to play something that's more relaxing after everything that has happened. I want to play something relaxing, and it feels like new Pokemon Snap has been that game for them, and people been enjoying it. So to see that this happening in UK is very surprising. I think once more PlayStation 5s get out, Returnal might just hit the number one spot, or it might sell more. If people who know me, I put on our Twitter page for Nintendo Pow Block, go celebrate for those who are getting Returnal, because it is a new IP, and we here at Boss Rush, we celebrate all gamers, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, whatever game comes out, go and support them and be excited for them. I was excited for Pokemon Snap and for Returnal happening, because it's two new games that anyone and everyone can enjoy, and I've been excited for that. And so just to see that this happening in UK brings my heart joy and everything. But hopefully, hopefully people, regardless of what the sales are, that people continue to love this game, and hopefully Returnal does get more sales once more PlayStation 5s become available. So,
Absolutely,
oh,
absolutely. And your dream
and
N64 game?
so my dream in 64 game, of course, is Pokemon Planet League, the puzzle
Oh, Puzzle
puzzle
League.
Puzzle League. Okay.
puzzle league. That
Yeah.
one, I kind of would love for. Oh goodness gracious!
What
I
if they?
can't believe I'm saying this.
Battle Royale.
Yeah. What if they did a
Uh,
Puzzle League, Pokemon Puzzle League '99?
oh, I am here for that 100%. Yes, I would be here for that. I kind of, and this is really crazy, but I would kind of love Resident Evil 2, the
Hmm.
N64 version, to come to Switch.
Okay.
Not the remake
Hmm.
of 2, but the cartridge version, because I love that game on N64 with it. And yeah, Becca took mine, Jet Force Gemini. I
Yes.
love that game. And Blast Corps. I would love to see Blast Corps, because I never got a chance to try it, and I would love to see that game. Um, sorry everybody, mischief makers also that just hit my mind, where I could just shake stuff up and throw it. I love treasure, I really do. So mischief maker would be also be mine. Sorry everybody, I took for like 4 or 5 games.
No, yeah, well, Ed, you are our retro fanatic, so that makes perfect sense. I did want to shout out a couple people in our chat on twitch.tv/BoschRushGamesLive. Live. You be sure to check us out every Monday night, typically around 7:30 Central Standard Time, to join us in the chat live. But still saying Shane, in talking about what collector's items he needed or for pre-order bonuses, anything Zelda is something he needs, but he also needs money too, so there's that whole problem, which I totally understand, Shane. So shout out to Still Saying Shane from hanging out in our chat. And yeah, just like Ed said, we at Boss Rush Games, we always try to, our slogan, be you, be more, be better, play games. So even though we're Nintendo biased here, we do always want to celebrate our PlayStation and Xbox and PC brothers and sisters playing games. So thank you so much. And that's been our news, Ed. So back to you for our doc mode.
A picture says 1,000 words. So do the Pokemon if you think about it. Yes, the latest Pokemon game, New Pokemon Snap, has arrived, and we captured this moment by discussing our thoughts on the game. As we roll on in this doc mode, we'll discuss if more will come down the line. Pika Pika. So I'm going to ask you, Jacob, because you've been playing it the most. You've been streaming this game.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about this game?
So, okay. I enjoy the game. I really, really do. It's very calming in some ways. It's also very infuriating in other ways. But my biggest comparison that I talked a lot about on stream was that I would call Pokemon Snap for the N64 a puzzle game, and I would call New Pokemon Snap for the Nintendo Switch a photographic experience. Because my biggest complaint so far was that, like, so they took away the pester ball and added, instead of throwing apples, you throw a fluff fruit, which that's a whole thing that I want to get into if y'all are willing to. But like, the pester ball made it from the very beginning, you had things to do with the Pokemon. You manipulated how the Pokemon reacted, what they did, and there's a little bit of that in this game, especially with the Illumina or experience, like, thing that happens at night where they light up. But it's not nearly as interactive. It is more that you're being taken via like a tour guide, and you just get to document them. And that's kind of how they marketed it, so I can't fault them for that, but I really miss the having to figure out what exactly to do to make each Pokemon do something, not just be there for a picture to take. And the other thing that like has really been kind of bothering me is, and maybe this is something that gets fixed later on in the game, but like, as you level up, as you take more pictures of each zone, you kind of level up your knowledge of that zone, and things change, but I haven't found a way to go back like and do like the level 1 version where like certain Pokemon work, because Pokemon like go away and new Pokemon come in, and so I haven't figured that out. And maybe that's just me being dumb and not knowing what to do, but that's been kind of frustrating for me, because it's like I'll have seen something, but then I'll have leveled up, and now I can't go back and watch it again. But
when you're picking the course, I think it does show. I don't know where it is exactly, but there's an option to change research level, and you can go back to 1, 2, and 3.
I figured that it was just me being stupid, but I really bugged me, and part of that might be because I was streaming it, so I was trying to communicate it a lot as well. But yeah, the fluff fruit, man, they even go into this whole thing about like, it's super light, it doesn't hurt them, which like, yeah, okay, but then you throw it at a Pokemon, and like a Pokemon like Tangrowth, that's this massive Pokemon, is like, like it visibly hurts him, and you're like, why did you just give me the pester ball? Just give me the pester ball, please. I don't want this stupid apple. So yeah, I have feelings about the fluff fruit. It's really annoying. I get why they did it. They don't want to seem like they're abusing Pokemon, but like, you're still doing it. I guarantee you, anyone who, as soon as you got the fluff fruit, the first thing you did was like, let me try and hit Pikachu with this and see what happens. So like, Man, I've major feelings about that.
Maybe that's just a you problem because I just politely threw it to Pikachu. I didn't try to hit him.
I can't be
so.
the only one. Grayson, did you try to hit Pikachu?
No, yeah, I try to hit every single Pokemon in the
Yeah.
face and see what happens with it.
Like just and then what's more annoying is that like sometimes the first time you hit them, nothing will happen, but if you do like 2 or 3, something will happen. And so then you're like, now I'm just hitting them more. If I had the pester ball, it would be one and done. But now it's like it's actual abuse now.
All right. What about
Sorry.
you, Becca? What? No, that's okay. That's great. Becca, what has been your experience with new Pokemon Snap?
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing because Jacob's in his feelings over there. So I I really number one, I really have found that I enjoy it on handheld 1,000 times more than I enjoy playing it on the TV. And I can't really explain why yet because I haven't played very much on handheld, but I played on handheld last night. It was the first time I had, and I automatically was like, oh, this is much better. So there's that. I don't know if you guys feel the same. I don't I don't know if I like this much story and explaining in my Pokemon Snap game because
yeah.
I've really enjoyed being in the vehicle and taking the pictures, but as soon as we get back to the lab, I'm like, oh, now I have to talk to Rita again. And her eyes, I tweeted about it last night. I was like,
Oh my.
their eyes stare into your soul. They're like,
That was
oh, you're back?
that... She's got massive eyes.
They're very creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not very far. I obtained my fluff fruit last night and gently let Pikachu have a few fluff fruit and did not try to smack Pikachu in the face. But I didn't know there wouldn't be a pester ball, so I thought I would get a smack in the face ball eventually, and this was my fluff fruit to present to the Pokemon. But I almost cried about the Lumina thing though. Like it was so beautiful that I like was almost in tears last night for no reason at all other than just my own feelings. So
it is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game and nostalgia is real. And I made my profile last night. It was all like, I'm from the Nintendo 64 era on my bio, and like, yeah, it's a cool experience so far.
All right. What about you, Grayson?
Yeah, so I played a lot of the original as a kid. So going into this, I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. But I'm just so like on the fence about things because at the same time it is good. It's a good game, and if you liked the original Pokemon Snap, you will definitely at least enjoy yourself in this one. It doesn't have, like Jacob was saying, it doesn't have like these little puzzles where you're trying to get a Pokemon to a specific location. I mean, it has a little bit of that with the request system, which is sort of like side quests, but they're also very arbitrary and obtuse to the point where you really don't have no idea what to do, because the game doesn't really tell you. But then it over tutorializes everything else, so it's just like it doesn't really have its stuff together in that regard. And also like Bex was saying, like I hate like the not that the voice acting is bad, but just I don't care what they're saying. I skip through all their dialogue. They make you do a tutorial for like every new item you get, and it's like, yes, I know how to press A and throw a fruit at a Pokemon. You know, it's like I wish you just kind of had the choice to kind of just skip every single cutscene, skip every single tutorial, please, for the rest of the game. But yeah, it is really gorgeous. It's super pretty. Like I've only gone to the second course so far. And I just think the environments are really detailed, and there's a lot. It's kind of overwhelming at first because you start off the courses and there's like, oh my god, there's a Pokemon here, there's a Pokemon here, there's a Pokemon here, and then you kind of, once you do the course a few times, you know, you'll get the hang of everything and know where everything is. I've also found it to be a little bit grindy because it makes you repeat the same area multiple times to increase the research level, and you're gonna have to do it a few times before you unlock the next course. Where I wish it was kind of the opposite, where you just unlock the next course and you can go back if you want to increase those research levels. So I find that kind of boring because I don't like doing the same things over and over again in games. But yeah, it's a great game. Like, it's definitely a good game. It's really comforting. It's very nostalgic. As a Pokemon fan, I love seeing Pokemon interact with each other in different ways because you don't get to see that in the mainline titles and some of the other spin-offs. That's why I like stuff like this and Detective Pikachu, because you get to see Pokemon you're not seeing them fighting and battling each other for once. You're seeing them just chill out where they live in their environment, and you're seeing them kind of interact with each other. And there's some really cool moments that you can get photos of, either by throwing the fluff fruit or just like using your scanner to get them to get their attention for the photo. So there have been moments where I'm like, oh my god, this is such a good photo, and I'm like snapping away. So I'm having a lot of fun with it so far, and I do plan on going back to it and beating it, and probably try to do some of the side stuff. But yeah, it's just a nice, comforting, relaxing game that's much needed right now after playing like a bunch of other stressful, sad games that we'll talk about later. But yeah.
Arbitrary is a great word for new Pokemon Snap, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a lot of it in there that you feel like you're doing the right thing, but then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, especially for those requests, like you said. But yeah, arbitrary is a great word for this game. But again, great game. It's just it's weird. It feels weird.
I think okay. So for me, I just started the game. I in the first area, I just kind of finished the night cycle, so I'm not too far, everybody, due to multiple things that I had to do. But I am enjoying it. This is my actually first Pokemon Snap game because I've never got a chance to play it on the N64. So going through this game and just like moving the camera around, taking pictures, to be like, okay, just turn it a little so I can get your face. And that RPG mechanic is just like, ooh, okay, now let me go in because I know where everything's at. Oh, there's a hoot. Let me take a picture of that. And it's just like, it feels like when I'm replaying this game or some of the stuff that I'm finding stuff that I miss and everything. And I kind of understand why it's very talkative and why it's very tutorial heavy driven, because this game is really meant for kids, and so kids who haven't had a chance to play this but who love the Pokemon series, they would get so much information, and it's kind of be like, okay, yes, this is a lot, but we want to make sure that we explain everything so that when you go in, you don't feel like, I don't know what to do. We have explained everything basic to you. Us as adults and older gamers, we're just like, we don't care about any of this. Hurry up and shut up and let me get to the thing.
Maybe they should have an age slider instead of a difficulty slider for games.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like, I'm a grown up. I know how to open a door. Like, I got it.
Or just like, have you played Pokemon Snap before?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
And sometimes some games do that where it'll be like, do you want to start the tutorial where you could just skip the whole thing and just go into the game. So I think with this one, I'm definitely enjoying it. I like the nighttime thing, seeing like seeing who eyes, like the redness, just be like, ooh, that's so cool. And
it
then
actually scared me last night. I did the scanner and he went, whoa! I'm like, whoa!
I like the fact because he was just like hoot hoot, and they was making sounds and everything, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm on this great rail shooter adventure. I mean, even though it's not a rail shooter, this rail camera adventure, and it's just like looking around and like you at an attraction that just goes slow, and you should see this beautiful things. So I kind of like that. Hopefully I run into a Raichu, because that is one of my favorite Pokemon that I love. I love Raichu, and I love that tail of his. Like, any ones that you guys are hoping to run into in the game, like any favorite Pokemon that you would like to run into. Becca, what about you?
Yeah, my favorite Pokemon is Espeon, and I think an Illumina, not even an Illumina Espeon, but like there, I thought Swanna was the Illumina Pokemon, and I'm sure you guys know why, probably because I got a really beautiful picture of Swanna at night, and it was glittery, and I'm like, I need a glittery Espeon in my life. Like, you don't have to make it a main line Illumina whatever, but like, give me that beautiful like red glowing jewel and like that purple glimmer. Yeah, I'm into it.
I've got great news for you, because later on in the game you get an ability to actually make any Pokemon. Not the Illumina Pokemon, but you can give them that glow, and it kind of changes things about them. So you will get it. If Espeon's in the game, you'll get it.
Fancy.
Yes. What about you, Greysun?
My favorite Pokemon is Apom, I think, for now. And Apom shows up pretty early in the game, so I was excited for that. There are a few of them hanging around. I've also I love the Johto representation because Johto's my favorite region, and I've been noticing a lot of Johto Pokemon like Hoot and Quagsire, and a bunch of other Pokemon that popped up like Lady Boss. I'm like, all right, I see the representation, and I'm also like, there's a lot of Pokemon. I've played every mainline Pokemon game, but I don't remember the names of like the last 4 generations. Like I can't. You couldn't even tell. You could show me a Pokemon, I wouldn't even know if it was in the game or not. Like Gen 6 and 7. So this is also helping me learn the names of those Pokemon. I'm like, oh, I know what this is. I just don't know its name. So it's kind of cool being able to sort of increase my encyclopedic knowledge of Pokemon, in a fun way. So that's been enjoyable.
What about you, Jacob?
So I am an absolute Cantonian Raichu stan. I love my adorable electric chubby boy. I'm not a fan of Alolan Raichu at all. I think he's cute, but like original Raichu is where it's at. And I know Alolan Raichu is in the game because it was in trailers, so I'm just really crossing my fingers that regular Raichu is in the game somewhere. I haven't found him yet, which is I'm starting to lose hope based off of where I am in the game. But yeah, it's man, I love that chubby boy so much. He's my favorite. I want a tattoo of him eventually somewhere on my body.
Well, we're going to get to the last portion of this. What do you guys could see in the future for Pokemon Snap? Do you think we could see some DLC? Can we see more games come from it? What did you think, or does this start another kind of Pokemon series for Switch? The Pokemon Snap games, could they be a Snap 2, like I said, Snap DLC, or could we actually get like maybe Mario and Pokemon, putting them in Mario costumes or Link costumes and taking pictures of them?
Oh, that's cute.
That'd be really adorable. Go ahead, Greysun.
I was just gonna say, I think if anything, this game is good for. I think this game would get DLC before it would get a sequel at this point. 'Cause I just think if they do another game like so quickly, I don't think it'll be as highly appraised because I feel like it'll just be more of the same thing with more Pokemon. So I think adding DLC would be nice because I think this game I feel like it'd be easy to add DLC just because it's course based. Kind of like a game like Mario Party would be good to have DLC, but never got any. But they could add like a course or two with we added 30 new Pokemon to the game because as far as I know, I don't think there's even 300 Pokemon in this game total. So there's like a lot more Pokemon they can add and, new biomes, themes and stuff. And I would totally buy it. I think I would probably, if it was like $5 for each course or $10 or like a package or something, I would totally be down for that. As far as the Nintendo collabs go, I don't see that happening. I don't think the Pokemon Company and like Nintendo have ever had have they ever even had anything like that before?
I think you can dress up Pikachu in a Mario costume from Build-A-Bear, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't think they've done anything in game before.
Ooh, I would love to see the Pikachu in the male outfit. I love him in his male outfit. Yeah. What about you, Becca?
I'm kind of on the same page. Like, I don't really see a sequel for this, and I kind of hope not. Like, I was excited about this because it's been, I don't even know how long, 20 something years since the first one came out. But like, I don't know if I would want another just direct sequel on the Switch, but it would be cool to see some DLC, some new Pokemon, some new courses, and even maybe some updates where like they add in some more editing features, or that kind of thing for people getting really into like the actual photos and the editing of those and posting them. So, which is probably going to be me. I'm just saying that eventually that will be my new hobby. So I think that would be really neat, and I'm hopeful that that's going to happen. But as far as like an actual sequel or a collab, I don't feel like that's going to be part of the mix.
Okay. What about you, Jacob?
Yeah, I really just echo Greysun and Bex. DLC, especially with Pokemon Company doing DLC for like Pokemon Sword and Shield, I think that's not anything that's new to them now. So I think that will be inevitable, especially given the size of the map that you end up unlocking, but the actual locations that you can go to. I think that just makes sense. Plus, with, as Greysun said, the number of Pokemon. I do think that will be where it stops unless. So the reason it took 20 years, as Bex was saying, to bring a new Pokemon Snap game to the mix was because they just didn't feel like it was exciting anymore. They didn't feel like there was anything worthwhile doing. And I think that this game is so beautiful that making a more HD Pokemon Snap game wouldn't be worth it. And that I think the only way we would get another Pokemon Snap game would be like if they could do holographic, like holograms or virtual reality, or even maybe further than that, like actual Pokemon at like a park or something, like at a theme park or something. But I just don't think that there's really anywhere else that they can go. Like everyone was saying when they were calling for a new Pokemon Snap game was, what do you mean there's no reason to make one? Make them look better. Get like, that's great. That's what we want because the original one's all polygonal. And that's what they did. And so I think that that's kind of their plateau for this. But DLC, I think definitely is a thing coming for this game. Absolutely.
Okay, so for me, I was thinking about it. I'm like, yes, I don't think a sequel probably won't happen for years to come, which would be fine. But I kind of could see Nintendo teaming up with Instagram, and you have a Pokegram where you could actually put it on your Instagram and then send it like to CVS or Walgreens and actually pick out your pictures on like 4x6 or a poster made thing. Like you really go in and design it and everything, and you can print it out for people who want to see it or hang it out in your wall. I think they could do something like that, or Nintendogram or whatever, with your Pokemon, and it's more of a functionality than just only DLC. So they could go places with this and continue to add more. Like when the new Pokemon game comes out, they could be like, here's some Pokemon from that game, and here's a level and stuff, and they could, instead of it now being rails, you could walk on foot and start taking pictures and everything. You go in that cave and take a picture and see whatever that bat thing is of a Pokemon and stuff like that, and like take pictures of them, or like do a photo shoot for a Pokemon where you invite players from the community to bring their favorite Pokemon, and they get grouped up and they have their costumes and everything, and you take pictures of them. You do like a photo shoot for them and stuff. I could see a lot of stuff coming out from Pokemon Snap if Nintendo could invest in it. Question mark. But I would love to see more of that, being as DLC. Like, but I agree with you guys, for like a new game, I don't think we'll probably see one for a couple of generations of a system and everything. And plus, if they get into VR games, then yeah, we could probably see more of Pokemon Snap in a VR mode and stuff. But who knows?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility, but it's way more likely to be DLC, I think.
Yes.
Which we all seem to be in agreement on.
Yes. So, but we would like you guys to let us know what you think about new Pokemon Snap. Did you guys pick it up? What you think about the sale figures in the UK? What DLC would you or functionality would you like to see? You can email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com, or you can come to our Twitter page, Pow Block Podcast, on Twitter, and let us know there, or jump in our Nintendo Pow Block on Discord and share some pictures of your Pokemon Snap that you took, or some ideas. We would love to hear from you guys. We're going to get into the final segment, playing with power. Jacob, what have you been playing with power?
Yeah, so I recently, right before Pokemon Snap released, I've been playing a ton of Monster Hunter. Finally hit a point where I'm like, all right, I can relax on the Monster Hunter a little bit. I've put almost 250 hours into this game now. I think I'm good. I've done everything. And they did release the new update, so that was fun. But right before Pokemon Snap released, I decided that it was time, after our conversation last week, for me to play the Phoenix Wright games. And so I a thing that I'm not super known for, but I do like to do a lot and I want to do in the future, is voice acting. I love doing voices and just being a goofball, and would love to see my voice in games. So I kind of fulfill that by doing the voiceovers of the Phoenix Wright games on my Twitch, and had a ton of fun with that. Chat was laughing and having a ball with me. I have been meaning to play Gree, per everyone's recommendation, but I just keep putting that aside. But then other than Phoenix Wright, it's been Pokemon Snap and Monster Hunter for me.
All right, Becca, what have you been playing with Power?
I know shocks you, but I've been playing Pokemon Snap. Um, I've also been playing. I restarted Breath of the Wild because I couldn't take it anymore and I had to. Um, I am playing some Story of Seasons still with Olive Town. Those are all my like chill games. Breath of the Wild's chill just because I've played it, and so I'm just having fun exploring and stuff, and I knowing how to do things already that I didn't know how to do the first time I was at this stage. And then I'm also playing Wind Waker HD on the Wii,
Yes.
and that's my first time playing the HD version, and I'm very excited to actually beat it this time because I didn't beat it the first time on the GameCube.
Ah,
So
so
I'm
good. Such a
having
good
a really good
ending.
time playing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you finish it, you'll see why I made that statement in our episode of the listing. You'll be like, okay, now I get why Ed said that. Yeah. So, and that was it. Literally was so hard not to spoil that part of the game. It's so hard to, and I can't wait. Grayson, what have you been playing with Power?
So like Jacob, I've jumped into the Monster Hunter Rise content a little bit, the new update. I also like him. I haven't like I was playing Monster Hunter a lot, and then I stopped, and now I'm kind of just relaxing, taking my time with it, going through this new content. I've only put in like I'm almost like 100 hours in maybe, but I've already completed all the main multiplayer hub quests and stuff.
Mm.
I fought Chameleos, which is pretty fun. I'm almost at HR 30 now, which will lead me to the Teostra fight, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
30?
or is it
Have you fought
40?
Kushala yet?
No? Is he 30 then?
Yeah, he's 30.
Okay. So yeah, Kushala, Deora, and Teostra are next. But I'm kind of just taking my time with that game. My main game right now, besides like Pokemon Snap now, is Nier Replicant, which it's not a Nintendo game, but I am really enjoying that game. I'm a big fan of Nier Automata, and this game is just like almost exceeding my expectations and what I expected from it. It's just a really heartfelt story, super
Which I had to
compelling.
which I had to ask you, don't this game feel faster and cleaner than Automata?
Um, I wouldn't say it's definitely more streamlined. It doesn't have as much depth as Automata, but
Mhm.
they did streamline. They did like clean up the combat a little bit and made it more like
Yeah.
Automata, because the original game does not play like how the remake does.
Yes.
But I'm enjoying the combat. Like I said, it's not so in depth, but I kind of like that. It's more simple. Like you're using like pretty much one weapon at a time, and he has these like magic spells that he uses through like his partner, which is like a magic book called
Mhm.
Grimoire Vice. But I think they updated the voices too with new voice actors, and it's incredible. Like I'm like almost 20 hours in now. I didn't think I would get sucked into it because I thought it would feel dated a little bit, but besides like the side quests, which are a bit archaic, and the way you traverse to the different like locations, it feels very much like a modern video game in that sense. So if anyone was like on the fence about it because it looks like an old game, because if you watch trailers and stuff, it looks kind of like janky,
Mhm.
but it's still really pretty, and the characters are so good, and it's not as confusing as Automata. Like that's something I really like about this game. The story's way more straightforward and easier to understand. When Automata has so much stuff in it when you're playing that game,
Yeah.
at least for me, I was like, I have no clue what I'm doing. I know I like the game, I like the combat, but I don't know who these characters are or what this means. I couldn't even tell you how that game ended. But this game is way more compact, and I like that a lot. um,
It reminds me of cross of Eco and Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 and its fast combat,
yeah,
Eco in the way that it looks and when you're fighting the shadows.
it's funny
Like,
because when I'm playing it, I think of Shadow of the Colossus because it has these like really vast environments, and you are going to kill these
yeah,
bosses, and yeah.
yes. So,
Mhm.
is that all? Is that all you've been playing with Power?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So, I've been playing, of course, my son Rise, trying to get through the main campaign. I think I'm about to. I got to do the rampage for the HR for the guild quest. And then I'll be at HR 4. I'm sorry, everybody, that I'm taking my time
That's
with this
okay.
game. Um, I'm playing Sundred, which is like a Metroidvania, not so much roguelike. It has a roguelike element to it, but it's not that hard or difficult. I really am enjoying this game. Really having fun doing the combat and getting to fights and exploring. Um, I've been also playing near Replicant. Yeah, near Replicant, and I'm just getting a little bit further in the game. I don't know how Yona is getting around in places as sick as she is.
Yeah, she's like supposed to be dying. She's like, okay, I'm gonna be at the library. I'm gonna be over here, going over here.
Right, and the thing about it is like your character don't even see her like get out the bed and then walk over there. Just be like, wait a minute, this area's not big. I've been right here running and stuff. Like, how did she even get like into the library with that big heavy door? Like, what's going on? So, enjoying that also. But like I mentioned, new Pokemon Snap. I've been getting into. And soon I'm going to be jumping in more into Astral Chain. And
Ooh.
finally, yeah, because I got to get back to that game. Near Automata, near Replicant, it just got me back into. I need to finish this Platinum game because I love Platinum.
Mhm.
Because I want to do that, and then I want to get into uh Fire Emblem Warriors. I've been meaning to get that, and I keep seeing them just like, oh, I got this game that I need to finish. And if y'all keep talking about Breath of the Wild, I'm just gonna ignore y'all and just pop in Link's Awakening and go do that
Yeah,
whole game.
the
Try to
superior
100%
Zelda
it.
game.
Cause trust me, I love Breath of the Wild, and there's still shrines that I have not finished. So I might have to go back and like explore. Be like, oh, that's a shrine that I haven't done yet. Let me go in and get it and everything. But yeah, everybody, that's what I've been playing with Power, and that's going to be our show. Thank you, Grayson. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Becca. We're going to get into some quick plugs. Jacob, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Twitch. Twitch. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Galatrad, Galutrad. You can mostly find me on Twitter, twitch.tv/Galatrad. I stream, right now we're doing Pokemon Snap and Phoenix Wright, so be looking forward to that. And then you can also join the Otter Kingdom Discord, which is my Discord, where we do a community game night on Saturdays, and sometimes we just hang out and chat with each other. It's a lot of fun. And we also just talk constantly every day about games and just random stuff going on in our life. So we'd love to see you there.
All right. Becca, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Rebellity, and that is pretty much where I frequent. I'm part of the game nights with Jacob and his community, but I am not an entertainer. I just like to game. So.
All right. And Grayson, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Greysun Morales. It's just my first name and last name. Very simple. You can also find my writings over at GameRant.com. And then I also have a podcast. It's called the Positive Players Podcast, which you can find on Twitter at Positive Play Pod. I haven't done an episode lately, but I have a couple good ones on there with really cool friends that are kind of in the industry. And we sort of have these one-on-one interviews about like how they got into the industry, how they dealt with COVID last year, games that they were playing during COVID, and stuff like that. So it was something I'm really proud of, and it's something that came out of COVID. So if anyone wants to check that out, there's like 10 to 15 episodes available. So yeah.
Yes. You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. You can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud. You can also check out World 11 Podcast on Podbean.com. Check out also our other podcast family of shows here on Boss Rush Games. We have Arsenal X, our Xbox podcast, Crossroads, our PlayStation podcast. We got Boss Rush podcast, our main line show, Hunters for Hire, our monster podcast with Jacob and LaRon that they host, and Towers Casual with Josh and Corey. We also got 1v1s. We talk, not coffee talk, talk the walk, recap is what I mean, not we talk, recap, talk the walk, and more here at Boss Rush Games. You can check our writings at bossrushgames.com. Join our Discord for Bushfish Games. And yeah, follow us on Twitter, like I said, at powblockpodcast.com. And also check out our first and second class of podcasts. You can find more of their information on our Discord channel. With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. And also, if you want to join our writing team, come to our Discord channel. We have our writer community there. You can look for David Lasby. He'll be able to help you out, and come join us. Come write some blogs with us and everything. With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Pika Pika!
Woohoo! Pika Pika!